What's that problem, mate?
Let me
I'm Luke with Fragment Promotion. I'm here talking to Spring King.
Hello.
All right, hello.
Hey.
Yeah, how are you all doing?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So you've had quite a good year over the last couple of years. Over the last year, I mean.
Yeah, it's been a bit wild, really. We've been together about 3 years now, and every day we get more and more sick of each other, don't we? Don't we, boys? Joking.
When you all first started and started making music together, was there a band that you kind of all clicked over, or did you all kind of bring like different musical influences to each other?
I think we all kind of bring different musical influences, but I think bands like the Beach Boys we all instantly adore. Like just a few bands like Dirty Projectors, things like that. I know we bonded over a guy called Delicate Steve. But overall, we all kind of bring different flavors in. I think like Andy's a big jazz guy. I like more electronic stuff, but I think we do it.
Bit like a summer barbecue, you know. Pete brings the coleslaw, I bring the wedges, James brings the wings, and Andy brings the booze. Yeah.
Nice. And if I can talk about, so your new single was "The Summer." Yeah, it's a great song, if I can say. And so it was kind of like, it's quite an upbeat kind of melody with like, but the lyrics and everything is kind of a bit more like downbeat. Or is there any kind of like influence for that like type of writing?
Yeah, it was a bit of a ode to the Beach Boys, that kind of, because I'm a bit of a mega fan and everyone else loves the Beach Boys as well, and they always used to write like tunes that were centered around like the summer and being young and kind of that nostalgia. So I really kind of wanted to get that across in one song. Obviously, the rest of the album's super heavy, but we managed to get one song on there, which is like, you know, a bit more of our poppier side, maybe.
Yeah. What is the tone of the album that you went for? Is there a tone for it, or is it not out until June?
I think it's pretty dark overall. It's like quite up tempo. There's a couple slow songs on there. A lot of it lyrically is kind of like about coming of age and like, you know, kind of soul searching and stuff like that. It's definitely it's quite a dark album overall, but then a lot of the tracks are very up tempo, so you can still like kind of like mosh to it. And
yeah, I was gonna say, because when you perform shows, you're kind of known for quite energetic live shows. Like I saw you at Reading last year, and that was a great show. Does that like come into the factor into when you write the album? Or is it not anything that you really think about?
I think we just like to play hard, just hard and heavy. So like, you know, and then we know we're gonna have a fun time playing it live. As long as the tunes make you nod your head, then we know we're gonna, you know, like have a good time live, basically.
Certain things you can't recreate off an album, the way that we've done it. So I think if you just go for it live, if you see it's two different things rather than trying to be the same thing, I think that's the way it's meant to be.
Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, I understand that. Yeah, that's cool. And so you guys, so you've done kind of like, you've gone off and played like South by Southwest and done some things in America. Is there ever like a notable difference between an English and an American audience? I know some bands kind of think there is.
Oh.
Did you ever get anything?
To be honest, I think it depends on where you go and like what, you know, like South by, the crowds are there's a lot of like industry people there and there's a lot of delegates and stuff, so you're probably not going to find that kind of like as similar kind of atmosphere. Like we played our first gig of the tour in Norwich last night and it was completely insane. Like just full of kids or like having a great time. You just gotta be careful to make sure that everyone's having a good. But like, I know like there's a lot of different kind of, you know, there's different kind of things in the US, like lots of house shows and maybe like a bit of a younger attitude. I don't know. I guess it just depends, doesn't it? I think it's all relatively similar.
I don't think it's necessarily to do with the geography of it. It's just it's just the people who go to that particular show.
Okay.
I don't, because people say at different parts of the countries there's different audiences, and we don't really find that. Because you can go back to the same place a couple of times, have a completely different experience. So I think it's just about the people who go there.
Oh yeah.
I think like festival wise, sometimes the festivals are a bit different. Like when you're doing a headline show, most of the time the crowd are gonna go crazy. Yeah. But like if you're playing a festival, not everyone is there to watch you, they're just passing by, then it's a bit of a different experience. But then overall, so far we've been quite lucky with the crowds we've played to.
Yeah.
Whether we've been supporting a band or headlining or playing a festival, we've been very lucky with like the responses. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Well, from that last like year, have you had any like personal like highlights just over that time?
South by
Yeah.
Courtney Barnett, we supported her
Oh, wow.
on one like her previous UK tour before the last one she did, so early last year.
Yeah.
Jools Holland.
Jools Holland, which we played this week.
Yeah, I saw you on there. Yeah,
That was great.
Holland.
That was fun.
Are you mental?
Yeah.
yeah. What was?
I was doing something else.
You were washing your hair, Pete.
Yeah, that was insane. We've never done anything like that before.
No.
It was at least 3 days of pure angst, pure dread before we went on.
Really?
And then the release for it was amazing.
So when you first heard about it, it was just kind of like almost like anxiety towards it.
It wasn't. Oh my god, we're playing Jools Holland. It was, oh shit, we're playing Jools Holland. But then we finally did it, and it went down really, really well. And I got to meet Elton John, which is one of my all-time heroes, which was amazing. Told him his shoes were amazing.
He was wearing very beautiful shoes.
Wow, it's pretty great.
And the Slaves tour as well. That was sick. We went on tour with Slaves around Europe and the UK, and they were amazing to us, like absolute gents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good.
good.
So, do you ever learn anything from doing? Obviously, I think they play bigger like headline shows.
Yeah,
Do
Definitely.
you learn anything from playing venues like that?
Definitely, yeah. We never used to play big stages until we went on the Courtney Barnett tour, and that kind of like was a big life lesson in how to tour. That was tour 101, because we were still doing it in like a tiny family car, couldn't bring all of our equipment, sleeping on floors the whole way. But then we were playing these big stages every night, so you really had to like go from being extremely exhausted to like pulling it together and playing the best you can, because it's a great opportunity. So it was a great experience to kind of go through the punches basically of touring.
Yeah. Every time I look on Twitter, you seem to be announced for like another show coming up over like the next year. Other than the album coming out, what are you most looking forward to playing over this summer?
Reading and Leeds.
Reading and Leeds, definitely. I tend to forget what we're playing because we've got so many gigs. It's just like an endless supply.
Yeah.
I don't know, what else is coming up?
Reading Leeds,
Great Escape.
Festival,
Australia?
Australia. We're going to Australia.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wasn't sure we could mention that. But yeah, we're playing Australia, and that should be insane.
Right. Have you ever played out there before?
No, never.
No.
I've never even been there.
Really?
So that's going to be mental. Got some friends there as well, so that's going to be, I don't know. Well, once we get over the jet lag, it'll be great.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me interview you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
All good.